Evet arkadaşlar, şimdi oyunumuzun ikinci bölümüne başlayacağız. İlk bölümde annemiz ve babamızın katledildiğini görmüştük. Kaleye doğru koşuyorduk. Kaleye doğru koşarken bize koşmamızı ve diğer kaleye geçip oraya saldırının bilgisini vermemizi istediler. Bir patikada, tam burada zaten kaydetmişti oyun. Patikadan aşağıya doğru koşmamızı istemişlerdi. Patikadan aşağıya doğru koştuktan sonra at bulmamızı, o at ile de kaleye gitmemizi istemişlerdi. Çabuk yoruluyor ya. X'ten ata biniyormuşuz. Islık çağırarak gidebiliyormuş. Sol shift eşkin gitmek, atın dayanıklılığını ve suratına uygun içinde harmanladı. W ve sol shift'e tek basmak, iki kere basmak depar atmasını sağlıyormuş. Şu at güzele benziyor. Şu attan gidelim ya. Ne dersiniz? Yeşilde atın dayanıklılığıymış. Evet. Herkes öldürüyorlar. Evet, bacağımızdan vuruyoruz. Kanamamız var, yaralandık. Bak ya, vuruyor bizi. Dostum birazcık hızlı gitti. Şunları ekelim.
Left. Talmberg is to the left, along the stream.
Soldan gitmemizi söylüyorum. Arkamızdalar ya.
Run for it!
Koş koş. Koş. Adam sıkıyor, koş. Oo.
Run for it!
Çık yoldan.
Flee to Talmberg! Flee to Talmberg!
Gelmedik mi ya? Karşımıza gördüm. Kaç tane ok yedik lan biz?
Oh my God! Wait! Jesus Christ! They're turning tail!
Vay.
Quickly! We're closing the gate!
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you and where are you from?
Adam
What in
Henry.
hell's name happened?
Dostum görmedin de peşimden
scouts.
geliyorlardı.
They burned it to the ground, slaughtered everyone.
Who?
Herkesi katlettiler.
Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours. Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that arrow out. Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone. It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
Thank you.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage?
Lord Divish. Lan şu adam bize saldırı olmadan önce bizim orada olan adam değil mi?
Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground, but a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Gutenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
Zeki bir önceki
As you
oyunlardaki
command,
gibi
sir.
değil ama. Lordum. Teşekkür ederiz lordum. Talmberg. Talmberg. Sir Robert mıydı? Robert. Oo, biz bayağı bir kötü olmuşuz ya. Karnımız da
Be a
acıkmış.
bit more careful.
Hadi sen ne yapayım, peşinden geliyorum. Seninle konuşacakmışız.
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach.
Bakalım canım.
I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes.
Babanın başına
If
geldi.
only. Took me 2
I can't
bloody days
understand
to
why
dig
he
it
wasted
out.
his talents, but
I had to dig a
I'm
trench
sure
all
Please
round
tell
as
me
big
what
as the
happened in
gates of the
he had a
house.
fine
I have a
reputation.
Pardon
key.
bacım.
It's a great loss.
Jesus, look where you...
Anam
Ah, milady.
lady'ymiş.
You're fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honoured.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad.
Ne çabuk.
Bojana here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear, aren't you, young master?
Young master.
Here you are then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're
Öküz
done,
diyor,
you
öküz
can
bir
go
daha
and rest
adını
with the
bilecek
grooms in
diyor.
the outer bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Çizmelerim mi? Daha iyisini verebiliyorsan ver oğlum bu devirde. Yıl 1403 be. O. Diyor ki al tavuk al. Tavuk da al. Burada tavuk. Al mercimek püresi de al. Yuvarlak ekmek de al. Al masada ne varsa al. Şarap var mı şarap? Peynir de al. Al peynir de al. Bak şurada elma görüyorum, elmayı da al. Bunların hepsi benim için. Hadi canım. O kadar kötü müyüm ya? Otur. Tuş takımı çok ya. Tavuk ye. Ha buradaymış. Bu da saat mi? Başlık geçti yani. Bu ne? Takke. Boyun zinciri. Üstümüz başımız. Seviyemiz bile var. Paramız düşmüş. Atımız yok. Günlük görevimiz koş. Harita. Külliyat. Aletler. Arma. İsim ve soyisimler. Yerler. Olaylar. Topluluklar. Vay be. Papaya kadar yazmış adamlar. Envanterimiz, silahımız, düşük kaliteli ok var. Zırhımız, yiyeceğimiz, görev eşyaları, radzig'den kopyalanan kılıcı var. Diğerleri kapı. Şunu atalım ya. Bakacağız bir ara bir ara. Şimdi
Watch where you're going.
uyumam lazımmış. Efendim? Şu benim geldiğim yer mi?
You're that lad from Scanners.
İyi de burayı göster. Aa buraymış. Tamam. Kapat kapıyı. Yatakta iyiymiş o. Uyu. Uyumak bizi iyileştiriyormuş. Sabah 5'te ne olacaksa uyu bakayım. Akşam 9.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
Lady bize hizmet ediyor.
My lady. No, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
Vallahi uyuyorduk, sana uyandırdım.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a sermon.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you. But I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the
Anamızı
world.
babamızı öldürdüler. Lady'm,
Although
daha ne
your
olsun?
loss is much greater.
Daha ne olsun?
But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
Ne istiyorsun Lady? Baskını anlat ya. Madem
You might be
gelmiş.
right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands. A fellow by the name of Kunnish owed money to Father, who sent me to collect it from him. Only Kunnish had no intention of paying. It got a bit heated, as often happens when there's money involved, but Kunnish still wouldn't cough up the coin. Father was too generous for his own good, letting even a scoundrel like that buy on credit.
Oh.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig. The sword was taking shape when Sir Radzig himself came to have a look at it. He praised Father's work and said that with his smithing skills, he could easily make a living in Prague or Vienna.
You don't say.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town. A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
How awful.
and then death descended on Skalitz. Father told me to take shelter in the castle while he went to get Mother. She was stranded in the town, surrounded by Sigismund's butchers.
And then I saw him knocking down one human after another. I never saw him fight like that. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw Father and charged at him. He cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother. And he murdered her in cold blood.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle. I wasn't safe yet. The Cumans were going from house to house below the castle, looting and then torching them. They encircled the castle, and it was clear they could spot me at any moment.
May God punish them.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I wanted to help her. God knows I wanted to. Even though I had the sword we made for Sir Radzig, they had me outnumbered and they were well armed too. I only just managed to grab one of their horses and ride off. I couldn't help her any more than I could have helped my parents.
It wasn't your fault.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors he went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years? And was Havel punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg, After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep.
Getirdiği yemeğe götürüyor lan bu. Lan bırakaydın yedik.
I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night. And
İyi
God
geceler.
bless.
Good night, my lady.
Lady ziyaretimize geldi. Yat yat uyu. Rüya mı görüyorsun?
Move in, people! Come on! Come on! We're running out of time! Quickly! We have to close the gates! You can't go back!
Henry, help us!
Help us, son.
Yardım et bize oğlum.
Don't be a coward.
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Geçit merdivenlerinden süperlere gitti. Oyun kaydedildi. Şimdi meşaleyi aldık ama oyun kaydedildiği için burayı ikinci bölüm yapacağım arkadaşlar. Bölümleri kısa kısa yapacağım. Hem izleme zevki olsun diye. Hem de ne olduğunu görelim diye. İzlediğiniz için teşekkür ederim. Eğer ki abone değilseniz abone olursanız mutlu olurum. Hepinize teşekkürler arkadaşlar. İyi günler, iyi akşamlar.